Dearest gentle listeners, you are listening to the Ladies Bridgerton, the talk of the ton. We are your effervescent hosts, your neighborhood friendly, tired, Kiwi, Tash from Middle Earth, New Zealand.
And Patty, Regency romance enthusiast, currently writing her strong, confident, intelligent, independent, dependable, shocked, and awe and amazed era.
Settle down onto your favorite city as we delve into the lives of the elite and illustrious ladies, lords, and royalty of the ton. This Bridgerton podcast is two friends talking romance, symbolism, Easter eggs, and kissing the wrists of the connections of our. I was like, how do I make this work? I can't. I'm just gonna
deep connections,
deep kisses of wrists into the connections of our favorite characters. We cover both book, TV series, and notable social media, and therefore will contain season 4 spoilers.
This is all spoilers, guys. Spoilers.
This is all spoilers.
Dear listeners, we have experienced our first delectable sips of the wine.
No.
That is
do it right. In the famous words of the Queen.
Gentle listeners. We have experienced our first delectable sips of the wine that is Benedict and Sophie's season. A hint of spice mixed with subtle notes of whimsy and character.
I believe that Violet said it was gin, actually.
Well, not what I drank. This first episode proved delicious and thank you, Shondaland. Very familiar. This follows the book closely with minimal changes, but the new changes were fun and exciting and breathed life into the story. So now, Tangent Squad, your Ladies Bridgerton, we react.
As you said, this book felt so like this. It felt like the book. Like, yes, there were some changes to it. Mostly speaking, Benedict's rendezvous with men before the masquerade ball, and
the Queen's bet.
And it also felt very, very reminiscent of season 1 of Anthony constantly being late to events because he was too busy in bed with Sienna. We are very much getting a repeat of that because he is basically he has stepped into his brother's shoes, both figuratively and literally.
For this long. Yeah.
No. And so I think he's really grappling with that.
Yes. And it appears they're playing that this is the start of the next season. I don't think we should give away everything. So we won't. But we'll just say that Sophie's not the only person that sneaks into the masquerade. First of all, I want to say real quick before we really dive in, thank you, Maria and Anne and Di and Sarah for joining us for what we tried to make a watch party, although there was a lot of technical difficulties with to Doom. 3 of us were officially able to get in, but because it was such a long delay, Anne had to sign off, Maria had to sign off, and Maria was never able to even see any part of the event. Di signed off. I hope you guys actually got to watch the episode eventually. If not, this is what you wanted. You wanted your blow by blow. So this is what we're doing. So first of all, the biggest news for Patty and her 90s music era is that one of the songs we got is Never Let You Go by Third Eye Blind. Like, I love Third Eye Blind. I was so excited to find out that they're not just sticking with, songs that came out in the last couple of years, that they're digging back deeper. Because that was my whole point with starting the Gen X Bridgerton playlist, is that there are so many great songs that fit the characters that happened before, 2015, 2010. So let's dig back and let's look for some stuff. So I was really excited to find that out. The other 2 songs that were in the first episode were Life in Technicolor by Coldplay and DJ Has Us Falling in Love by Pitbull. So we have another Pitbull.
Yes, and we really thought that the Pitbull was going to be the carriage scene 2.0, but it's not, and it's still fit. And to be honest, I think that anyone who's going to be listening to this, they either don't care about spoilers or have watched the live stream event themselves. So I think that it's okay if we, as long as we're not going to every single detail of it.
Yeah, I think we should stick to main points that we want to talk about. rather than really digging in and going scene by scene.
Okay. No. We're
Scene
not.
by scene
We're
is
not
for
doing.
later.
That's a like a whole season recap situation. Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite costumes.
Oh my goodness. Violet, she was
Hands down my favorite.
Titania, Queen of the Fairies. And I want to just say again, Jess Brownell doesn't even know her source material because she chose to theme the masquerade ball after Midsummer Night's Dream, and she said Tatiana. It is
Yes.
Queen Titania, lady. So I mean, I don't want to say that upset me, like, but it was annoying. And so her dress ethereal, beautiful, her mask was beautiful. I loved Eloise's costume. Violet's was probably my favorite though, out of every.
I'm just get saving to photos Titania so we can then do a side by side with the masquerade Violet because
I recently read an article. John Glazer said that she's Titania, Queen of the Fairies from A Midsummer Night's Dream. Do we give away the Danbury Lord Anderson? Because they don't show Lord Anderson. So, like, do we give that away or do we let that be a surprise?
No, I think the costumes are fine.
I mean, they both came as Zeus.
Which I told you that I said Greek goddess, but because they turn up and he's like, "Oh, are you Hera?" Which would be really weird if brother and sister turned up as Zeus and Hera. To be fair,
she's like, "No, I'm Zeus. If he was a woman."
Cosplaying. I love that she turned up as Zeus. She's like, I'm no one's, like, in my fantasy world, I'm no one's bitch. I am the bitch.
Yes.
You know,
I love that very much. And putting one over on him because I think there's still kind of a tiny power struggle there.
Well, I actually very much think that there is because we saw him start to head towards Violet and then Lady Danbury step between. And so I think we're going to get a repeat of the Penelope's and kind of love triangle, or not love triangle like that, like as in like one person getting in between all the time. And
I think she's afraid she's going to lose Violet.
Yes, that relationship to her is very precious.
Yeah, not like if it sours, she loses Violet, but she's going to lose the time she's had with Violet.
Yes.
You know, so agreed. I think that she's worried about what her place in Violet's life would be if they should truly 100% get together. They're very much still just a flirtation.
Yes. Well,
we did get a kiss inside of
a very seductive kiss.
Yes.
Which runs in the family.
It does. And that's all we'll say about that. Let's leave some
okay, so
I loved all the filming of the downstairs. We get to see what the servants are doing while everyone's doing everything else. And Downton Abbey fans, it is filmed very much like Downton Abbey. It is a scurry of activity. Everybody's got their place. You can see the hierarchy even in the society of downstairs. Mrs. Wilson is the queen.
Think very much what we saw when they were getting ready for Daphne's wedding was very much what we were seeing, but more. We were seeing more interaction between the different
We were seeing the hierarchy of the society of the downstairs. Like Mrs. Wilson is the queen. She is the head of the home.
Footman John is very brazen with her, and I think that he is one of her favorites because she treats him more like a son, where she chides him, but it's never really scolding. It's kind of like
because he's cheeky. I think he's the Colin of downstairs.
He is. And I think we're going to get a lot more of Footman John / Ollie Higgins this year. And this season, I'm so excited for it because I personally love him as an actor.
We see how much he has missed Eloise being at Bridgerton House.
One of the servants make a cheeky comment about how he doesn't mind that there are so many women in the house. And I think there's one woman in particular that he doesn't mind taking care of.
Right.
But we've already had our Theos, so I don't know whether it's going to be a friendship, a crush. I don't know, but I'm here for it regardless.
And I'm making a prediction. I think that Colin is going to be struggling to find his place in the Featherington household as a male. Because, you know, the scene we all saw in the stills where Penelope's holding the baby, Colin actually takes his son from his wife to hold his son. And then he immediately gets snatched by Portia, who says she needs to make sure nothing happens to the heir to their name. So I think there's going to be a struggle of Portia and Penelope embracing a male presence in the home.
Speaking of Penelope embracing. I think she is very much struggling with the fact that she is still Penelope. And people are now expecting her to be Lady Whistledown when conversing. Like, they have no interest in Penelope. They only have interest in Lady Whistledown. And I think that she's very
Yes.
much struggling with having to put on the mask so often now. And I wonder whether it's
Yes.
going to be kind of a Colin moment where don't let the armor rust, like, but it's instead don't let the mask freeze on your face.
Well, and I think a lot of it is she doesn't like the attention.
No.
She's almost being chased as much as the Bridgerton brothers have been.
Yes.
So people want to be seen by her. They're hoping to be in her column, and it is just overwhelming.
Well,
So I can't remember who said it out there. It was the perfect line, and it was in one of the Bridgerton groups because people were talking about what they wanted to see in season 4.
Mhm.
And I can't remember who it is. And if you listen to our podcast, please, throw your name in the comments. She said she hopes that Colin gets more love than, because he always wanted love and didn't feel like he was going to find it.
Mhm.
And he gets more love than he can handle, and that Penelope gets more attention than she can handle because she never got noticed.
I did love the cheeky moment where he's like, let me take your mind off things. And she's like, oh, what a gentleman, I
Yeah,
thought that
like,
was really cheeky.
what a great idea. Yeah.
You're so helpful.
Well, and I just want to say this, like, little moments speak volume, because so Portia and two maids are in this room talking to Penelope while she is in the process of getting dressed for the masquerade, getting dressed, putting clothes
They
on.
scamper.
Okay.
They scamper.
Portia squeaks his cheeks, like she stops, but those two maids are like, when Colin doesn't even say leave us or anything like that, he says, am I interrupting? And these two maids are like, psh. So that bedroom is
you know
the
that
only
he's
alone
helped them
time he
take their
gets.
mind off things a lot.
A lot. The maids know to get out of Dodge. Like, they're out of there.
They're like, we ain't out here trying to get secondhand pregnancies.
We're not we're not at the palace. We're not trying to have to watch this business. We're out of here.
Will and Alice, really nice to see them be in sync, kind of laughing with each other, a lot more jovial this season. Nice to see that they are a little bit more relaxed, even if they did get the harshest cut I've ever seen.
They learned that the queen has severe
rude.
ADHD. She has ADHD. Like, she doesn't remember them from last year. She has no clue. She's all about the queen. I feel like her vibe now is she lives in the moment, right? She's looking for the next exciting fun thing because her life is so boring. So she doesn't harken back. She doesn't really go back to memories so much as probably just with George. So, yes, she gave him the cut because she was like, this is not what I'm in that's important to me right now.
Something that we complained about quite greatly last season was the fact that Violet was very hands-off, that she was so enthralled in her own, match. Oh no. This season, gloves are off. She is just full on beating down on her children like she is pissed. This is not a mama that is messing around. She is gloves off. You will do what I say, and you will do it now.
We have been begging for her to stop speaking in riddles, and she stopped speaking in riddles. She is just out.
I was honestly like expecting her to start just smacking her kids over the head.
Okay, and first of all, if we're gonna go there, I'm gonna get on my soapbox because season 3 was a throwaway season, and they proved it in the scripting in this season, because Eloise, being in her 3rd season, decided she was on the shelf. And why wouldn't she? Her best friend was on the shelf in season 3 after 3 years on the Marriage Mart. Eloise thought that would pertain to her. And guess what? It doesn't. It's only certain young ladies. And I can't believe Violet even said that.
Yes.
I can't believe they scripted the words to come out of Violet Bridgerton's mouth.
Not thinking about the fact that she's, in doing so, speaking badly about her own daughter-in-law when she literally just said, I had my hands full with Colin last season. Yes. And Penelope.
She didn't have her hands full. Colin did all the work himself.
He had his hands full.
She was not. Yeah, he had both hands full. He did all the work himself. His mother didn't even know what was coming. You know what I mean? Till the last freaking minute.
We are going to see
But they
Colin,
use
sorry, Benedict.
we
Sorry.
sorry, we have said that they use a storyline, they use a tactic for the story they want to tell, and then it just goes out the window, and they just did it again.
For those, yeah, no, I'm gonna start at the start. So, um, Benedict is going to go through his debaucherous era. He is being debaucherous with both men and women, but I think that there is no like when he walks into that club, you can tell that just about everyone has had a piece of the pie.
Everyone.
Everyone. What did kind of I didn't love was that he went straight from like not falling in love, but the inklings of love had began to, all right, I'm off to the club again. They did change that from the book, and that wasn't necessarily a change that I loved for him to immediately go back to, instead of like in the book the day after, he's like, Mum, who does this armband, what do we look at glove belong to? I need to find her, rah, rah, rah. And then it's just completely changed. And I know that they're going to have to use that storyline because otherwise they wouldn't have included the gloves, but like they kind of took away that moment a little bit by him just
Sorry, I
going
wasn't
straight back.
listening. I
I know
was
you weren't.
talking in the group. Di clocked the Bridgerton sniff also.
Hmm. Loves
um,
themselves a Bridgerton sniff.
a
Little
Bridgerton
creepy.
man loves the smell of his woman. But
Yes.
that's the thing. And I'll say this because I'm also an olfactory person and there is science behind it that when it is somebody that you love or it's somebody that you are attracted to, you like their smell. It doesn't matter if they've been out chopping wood or, plowing a field with just a horse and a plow. They could be sweaty as all get out, but it doesn't turn you off. So having that it's the men though, I love that it's the men who want to remember the scent of their woman. I love it
Hmm.
so much. And it definitely is in this episode. And it's
Um, Do we talk now about the conversation between Benedict and Sophie? Not in detail, but I love how, as you would say, it was not shallow. It was a
no,
true deep conversation. You could see the connection. And I
yes.
really felt it. Like in the way that when we had in season two, and season one, like in different ways where you just felt that there was something different with the connection between the lead characters. Because there was a lot of chatter out there that Sophie and that Yaren Har and Luke Thompson had no chemistry, and that is not the
There's
case at
so much
all.
chemistry. Yes. And Luke Thompson, I have been waiting for you to be a lead as a person with a history of being an acting student and knowing you are a theater actor. The performance in The Private Terrace by him was amazing. He was guarded. He was trying not to. I mean, his words were saying the whole like keeping it to shallow waters, pleasant. He
Yes.
doesn't like to go too deep because he's kind of avoidant. He's avoided that because I think his trauma with his father, because we now have two leads with real father drama, right?
Yes.
Father trauma. So his father trauma is that he loved his father and he lost him in a way where he couldn't get him back. And he's not as important because he's and not that the family ever treated him not as important, but when you're a single mom with 8 kids and yes, you have servants, but the focus is on the firstborns for what they bring to the
So
family. So Benedict feels this I'm the replacement. I'm not the main character. He's not main character energy. And Sophie was trying to draw him out because in her story, because this is the only night she's got, right? She's
mhm.
trying to make him the main character in this fairy tale she's creating in her brain. And hold on, I'm not done. I know you want to say something. And he is doing such a perfect job of giving enough but still pulling back and their physical distance in this, like his facial expressions, like his sheepishness. He was amazing in this scene. Amazing. And it was so perfectly done. Like it really felt like what I see in my head when I read that scene in the book. It was so, so good. I'm done.
I forgot my point.
I'm sorry. You kept trying to interrupt, but I'm like, oh, I have to get this out because it is just fangirling over. And I love Luke Newton as an actor as well. And he does really great with micro expressions and stuff too. And yes, he has been on the stage, but not in like a Shakespearean where you're speaking in a cadence that's weird to most people. And you still have to be able to convey the feelings of the story. Shakespeare is hard to do. And I know he's done so much of it. I was really excited to see him in his lead season, and he did not.
So Luke Thompson said before in the interviews leading up to this that he's kind of a little bit chronic for love bombing. And what I really, really loved, because we did see it with Lady Tilly. Not so much Genevieve. I think Genevieve was very much just a fling, but Lady Tilly, we saw what she thought was him getting deeper, but we never actually see him have any conversations with her that really went beyond surface level. Whereas just a few moments with this girl, and even though it was kind of in the way that the Ridley way that his mum speaks, we go from talking about debauchery and Lady Whistledown conversations and all those kinds of things to like actually tackling the depths of his fears in life, which is that he is just a second son and that everyone knows him as a second son. The fact that he's never ever felt seen or wanted for being just Benedict. These are conversations we've only ever seen him have with Eloise, which in a weird way, a lot of people not ship Eloise and Benedict, but kind of wish that they weren't siblings because their chemistry is so
they
good
envy
together.
their closeness. Yeah,
Yes.
they envy their closeness.
This is the first person that we've ever seen Benedict actually allow in on that level, is
and that's
to
because
show his vulnerabilities.
she's giving the same vibe as him though, right? She is not your
Yes.
typical debutante because she's just there for one night. He doesn't know this. She is just there to enjoy herself. She's telling him all the things that he feels his own self. He wants surface level. He's not trying to make a connection. He's not trying to be noticed. And she's saying those things out loud. Okay. He's always danced around it, but she's saying it out loud. So she draws him out. She draws him out and he feels free to say stuff. Plus, having the masks on kind of helps as well. This kind of a stranger, right? It's like talking on the internet almost. But I think he's so intrigued because she seems like the female version of him.
Yes. Well,
and
he's
never met anybody like him before. Well, he doesn't know that part yet, right? I'm like, and to him, I don't think the debauchery is.
It's an escape on its own.
It's an escape, and it's a way to feel connection where there is no real connection. You don't have to have feelings. You don't have to have love. It's a physical manifestation. It is not real connection. And he felt more real connection with her in teaching her how to dance than he has felt with all of the people he's been with. And I think that's how they played, because all of us were questioning, how is Benedict going to go from this to just being with Sophie, right?
Yes.
And this is how, because he felt more connection with her in this moment that had very little physical connection, very little physical chemistry, although they have chemistry, but you know what I mean? Like, there's no chance to turn it sexual, so it makes it more intriguing. And I think that's how she's going to get him. The reason she's going to win out in the end is because she uses her no.
I very much love that he didn't just treat Sophie like any of his conquests from the bar either. He immediately knew that she was something more, as an offer from a gentleman would say. Hey, darling.
He became a gentleman in that moment.
Are you taking my
phone? I need to watch.
No, you take the work phone.
Like, in that moment, she made him a gentleman.
Yes.
He's always said he was a gentleman. The Bridgerton bros like to say they're gentlemen, even when they're not truly acting as gentlemen. But in that moment, he chose to be a gentleman for her.
Yes, he is like, I don't want to, sully this. I want it to, like, this memory to remain pure in a way.
Well, and he saw that's what she was doing. He wanted to keep it pure for her. He vibed, like she said, she's just here to enjoy the night. I think he's kind of connected 2 and 2. She's not really of society. She snuck in. I think he's decided she snuck in. At least that's the vibe. It seemed to me, him asking these questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she obviously is trying to create a memory, because she says, he's like, oh, you've got your eyes closed. And she goes, I'm trying to remember every bit of this so that later I can come back to it. So he didn't want to ruin that for her. And he chose to be a gentleman. And that is where we see the change in Benedict.
I must, even myself, I was thinking, like, because granted we have the book, but I knew they were never going to keep it exactly to the book. But even myself was thinking, how is Benedict going to go from wanting to rake himself through the ton, everything that moves is a goal, to one conversation with a woman, one evening with a woman, being singularly minded about her and her being his muse for everything going forward, being obsessed with her and like struggling to then commit to Sophie the maid because of his memory of this woman. But I think that they actually conveyed the connection really beautifully, that it wasn't just
Beautiful.
surface level. It was like we saw their souls connecting.
Yes, it was conveyed
Because like
perfectly.
season one, I think that that was that moment of like awe where I think we all kind of got goosebumps, was the moment where Simon and Daphne walk up and pretend to be forming an affection, and look in my eyes, touch, like put your hand here, and they start dancing,
Mm-hmm.
and they've got all the light bulbs all around them, and the music was perfect, and the scene was perfect. Like that was that moment of connection. But season two, we didn't really get that same connection with Kate
No.
and Anthony, because there was so much enemies to lovers trope, so much angst and anger and hostility, and like they both had so much trauma that they were sorting through, that it was this hot, fierce anger.
Yeah.
And then season three was a friends to lovers, so we didn't get that moment of instant connection. So I love
Because
that
there
this
was
is.
consistent connection. Yeah.
Yes, because it was a
This
friends
is
to
love
lovers.
at
This
first
is the
sight
lovers
so
first
much.
first sight trope, and I think it's special in its own right. Like I am a big fan of a friends to lovers, but I think that this moment is the one that a lot of people envy. That they want that love at first sight. That
They want it.
the
Well, yeah,
butterflies,
because
the
I mean it's kind of a dream though, like
it is.
to just have it be so easy that you know the instant you see someone,
Yeah.
right? Instead of question.
But I do think that that's where a lot of love bombing comes from as well. So I'm a big fan of the friends to lovers, because it's
Yeah. You got to
you.
wait it out. You got to see how that person 6 months down the road, people.
Yes, yes. Yeah, surprise, surprise. I'm a fan of Friends to Lovers.
Yeah.
Wasn't I
Oh,
didn't
same, same,
didn't
same.
didn't friend zone my husband for 2 years first. Do we finish off by discussing the Lee
I think
family,
we,
the Penwood family, and their interactions with each other?
well, I think that they are depicted perfectly from the book. Rosamond thinks she's Cheat.
It is very much the ever
Um,
after version of Cinderella.
yeah.
Rosamond,
Posey is
yeah.
super sweet and barely noticed. Like when they came home and she didn't speak, she knows not to speak when her sister is speaking, I think. So there's that.
She gets cut off by her sister, and if she does speak, she is instantly belittled. But I love that she instantly wants to share like the highlights of the evening with Sophie, and she wants to talk with her, and she wants Sophie to be her sister. You can see it. Like, I'm excited to get home and actually talk to someone who's kind to me, who doesn't just ignore everything I say for the evening. So I'm really excited to see the connection between Posey and Sophie. I think that's going to be quite sweet,
Yeah.
and we're going to see those moments where from the book that Sophie so desperately wanted them to be her sisters. She thought, finally, I'm getting a family. And then they treated her that way. And it was heartbreaking to see. But I think we're very much going to get that. We're going to see Posey being mistreated by her family the whole time. And can I just say, as a 90s kid, a millennial, F you very, very much for making someone my age be a parent too on the on
But Rosamond and Posey they look very young.
they would have to be
I
16 and
almost
17,
feel
I would
like
guess.
I
I
would
would
say
say
that
they're
they're
Irish twins.
early and very early. I
I
don't
would say
think they're like
I think
18
16, I think
debuting.
16 and 17.
Yes, they're very young. She's pushing for them to find suitors. And I
Ros
think because they
Rosamond
cut
has that
out, I mean,
very excitable, do anything to please my mum. Like, oh, yes, of course, I'll go hunt him. It was that very immature, do anything to
well, no,
please
I think
mother kind of vibe.
it's very similar to Ever After, where
Yes.
Rosamond, that was her name in Ever After, right? It was Rosamond or Rosalind.
Rosalind?
I think it was Rosalind. But she was, when her mom spoke, she jumped because their mom was menacing. I mean, it was Angelica Houston after all.
Yes.
But yeah, I think that
Marguerite.
they're very young.
And
Marguerite,
Jacqueline. Yeah.
Jacqueline. So they're very young. I'm not sure because they've cut out some of the backstory, which we may get in second episode or whatnot.
Oh, someone pointed out something about that. We saw Sophie getting ready in the trailer. We did not see Sophie getting ready. So I wonder if they're going to do flashbacks to it in the next episodes.
Well, they're probably going to do some flashbacks leading up to her decision to go.
Yes.
Because Lady Penwood's going to have to find the shoes, figure it out. I think that'll play in there.
Yeah,
but
because I was, odd that they would film it, but then not put it in the final cut. but have it in the
Well,
trailer.
they put crap in the teasers for season
I
3 that
know.
ended up disappearing from the teasers and then not being in the season at all. So what's that about?
Yeah.
And I was gonna say something and I don't remember
Sorry.
what. It's okay. We're so excited. We're so excited. And she's barely had any sleep, and I've had a ton of sleep because it happened at a decent time for me this time.
Yeah. Mine
Um,
started at
so
six 30.
we do have all of the titles. The waltz, time transfixed, the field on the other side of the road or the field next to the other road. I wrote it. I was in a hurry writing it down. 4 is an offer from a gentleman. 5 is yes or
Uh,
no. 6 is passing winter. 7 is the beyond. And 8 is the dance in
it's the field next to the other road. I
the
screenshot them.
field. Okay, the field next to the other road. Thank you. I was writing it down. I was using all of my technology today so that we could do our watch party, and I had no way of screenshotting anything. So thank you, Tosh, for that. And I do know from TikTok, and Cass, the TikToker herself, noticed that the first 3 episodes are named after paintings. So I'm going to look up the other episode titles and see if they are too, and we will probably discuss that in your podcast.
Yes.
And then
I'm sure there'll be some historian that will cover it, but
yeah, do we give away the symbols that were in the
I think so because they're not like some
they're not
big secret.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
not surprise. There are no surprises, guys.
No, so we got the kite. Now, from what I can tell, the kite is going to be another one of the kind of chandelier moments between Sophie and Benedict. It's going to be like a sweet learning, teaching, young wonderment
I
kind of
think
a
because he's the
connection.
man who's seen it all. Like nothing phases him anymore. Nothing brings him joy.
He is the man who has done it all.
Well, true. But I mean, nothing truly brings him joy anymore. He's only seeking dopamine. He's not getting real joy. And she has real joy. And he wants that. He's attracted to her joy. And he said that. So, like, he's intrigued by her because he's attracted to her joy.
Next up is the painting, which is obvious. We're going to get Benedict painting the lady in silver, and then Sophie is going to reignite his passion. She will become his muse for his painting.
Yes. And then we have a mask.
The blooming mask. I loved the way that they did that.
And they grew the tree. Remember, we had the storm tree in season 3, and I hope to Jesus they don't do that this season. But in the intro, they had the tree growing blossoms, growing leaves, and leaves formed a mask. It was amazing. Thank you. That was
and so then finally we have, speaking of blooming, someone's garden's getting tended because we have the staircase.
Well, the staircase is upstairs, downstairs. That's how that happened. But yeah.
No, because Jess Brunel keeps making a point about the staircase, and it's the fact that they have their first sexual encounter on the staircase.
Yeah.
Which they don't go all the way. They just hit. No. I don't know what base it is, but
that's about third base.
It's a finger licking good kind of a scene, if you get what I mean.
Because in the grand scheme of things, first base was always like kissing over the clothes. Second base is kissing under the clothes, but up top. Third base is the down below, and then home run is all the way.
Okay, good to know.
Why are you saying it like that?
Because I never know, because I will forget it.
You're like, okay, you just had to spit that out, ADHD. Got it.
No, it's just that I will forget it in 3.5 seconds flat. Do we actually discuss at all Lady D? Because that made me cry.
No, save it. No, I'm not ready. No. We're not discussing
People are going to listen to this and freak out being like, let the record state Lady D is not, to my knowledge, dying, but
nobody dies in episode 1.
The Queen says no to her dying anyway, so it's fine.
And she's not. I'm being the Queen. No,
the Queen's like Northwest Passage. I think not. We've already lost Debling to it.
Yeah, Debling is no, and I don't recognize any debutantes from previous seasons. I really wish they would bring back somebody.
Emma
like
Kenworthy.
Not all of them got married. Come on, yes, I want Emma Kenworthy.
I
want Emma.
Oh no! I think we are getting Miss Anne Hardigan because she is of Korean descent, and I think that she's going to make some sort of connection with Sophie. I'm sure I saw something about Miss Anne Hardigan.
I hope so.
No, not Anne Hardigan. Miss Hallowell.
We can't keep having new Debs every season. There's not that many women in society. Come on now.
Feel like
they don't all get married every year.
I feel like they have replaced a lot of the debutantes and a lot of the lords of the ton, specifically with the downstairs staff, because they can only have so many paid speaking roles per season. They
Yeah.
probably have some kind of quota. And so I think they've replaced like even like the Cowpers, the Featheringtons, like that's where all those roles have now gone
Lady
is
Kesig, yep. The
yep.
main speakers
Yep.
that you normally see, a lot of them are gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those roles have all gone to the downstairs staff now, which I mean, I'm not
And it's
mad about, but
probably really why we lost the Featherington sisters and their husbands,
I'm hope
because
I'm
less
hoping in
speaking.
I'm hoping that in Eloise's season that we will get at least Cressida back because that'd be wild not to have her.
Yeah.
Because I kind of wanted
Eloise,
the OG Araminta to be like, I'm the OG Araminta, you're 2.0.
I mean, Eloise did hear about Cressida if she's talking to the sheep, because isn't Cressida writing for the sheep?
Did you hear me make that joke or no?
Yes.
I said
I heard it
because she said Eloise says that she was so lonely in Scotland that she ends up talking to the sheep, and I said, "Oh, good, she can inform Cressida of Lady Whistlebound." Now we're gonna get some true scandal. We've now got Scottish sheep to add to the mix instead of just Wales sheep. I'm gonna have to renew my Lady Whistlebound article.
I know, Lady Whistle. Oh. Okay, so this is still a work day for me. I took half a day, and my boss kindly gave me an extra hour because of the technical difficulties. So we're doing this as a bonus, and I'm putting it on YouTube. So what are your 3 words to tell everybody who wasn't able to see it because of the technical difficulties to look forward to for January 29th?
Whimsical, mysterious, flirty.
Perfectly stated. I love all those words. I'm going to add domineering.
Yes. No.
Not just that, Lady Violet.
Yeah, I know. I love it.
Domineering, delusional. Eloise, I'm speaking with you. And delightful. Yes, I'm going to go 3Ds.
3Ds. Whoa. Even that's a bit much for Benedict.
So, okay, for today, gentle listeners, because I really got to sign on to work.
For today, gentle listeners, we will leave it there and continue on our regularly scheduled episodes. If you have anything in particular you would like us to cover or any Bridgerton knowledge you would like to share, please head to our Facebook page, The Ladies Bridgerton. And if you're enjoying our podcast, please remember to click like, subscribe, and leave comments wherever you are listening.
And once again, thank you for listening to the musings of 2 mad women.
And delighted.
And delighted. And excited.
Yours truly, Tash the Kiwi.
And Lady Patty.